Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 6th and final William Shakespeare Default Theatre live reading during this lockdown season. We're going to be doing Hamlet, which is my personal favourite play and my dream role. So I'm very excited, and I'm very excited to be doing it with this amazing cast. So why don't we all just introduce ourselves?
Hi, my name is Matthew McGoldrick, and I'll be playing Claudius.
I'm Jaz Jarmen, and I'll be playing Horatio.
I'm Luke Martin, and I'll be playing Hamlet.
I'm Juliette Finn, and I'm going to be playing Ophelia.
I'm Alice Mayer, and I'm going to be playing Gertrude.
I'm Ethan Reid, and I'll be playing Polonius.
I'm Kiran Raywilliams. I'll be playing Laertes and the third player.
I'm Patrick Burley-Brown. I should be playing Ghost, first player, and Gravedigger.
I'm Sam Peters. I'll be playing Guildenstern and Bernado.
I'm Hannah Redfern, and I'm playing Rosencrantz.
I'm Clara Doherty, and I'll be playing second player, Osric, Marcellus, and Captain.
Wonderful. Shall we begin?
We shall. Act 1, Scene 1. Elsinore outside the castle walls. Bernado sits at his post.
Who's there?
Enter Horatio and Marcellus.
Hola, Bernardo.
Say, what is Horatio there?
A piece of him.
Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good Marcellus.
What? Has this thing appeared again tonight?
I have seen nothing.
Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy, and will not let belief take hold of him. Therefore, I have entreated him along with us to watch the minutes of this night, that if again this apparition come, he may approve our eyes and speak to it.
Tush, tush. It will not appear.
Sit down a while.
Well, sit we down.
Enter Ghost.
Peace! Break thee off! Look where it comes again.
The same figure like the king that's dead.
Thou art a scholar. Speak to it, Horatio.
Looks it not like the king. Mark it, Horatio.
Most like. It harrows me with fear and wonder.
It will be spoke to.
Question it, Horatio.
What art thou that usurp this time of night, together with that fair and warlike form in which the majesty of buried Denmark did sometimes march? By heaven I charge thee, speak.
It has offended?
See, it stalks away.
Stay. Speak. Speak, I charge thee, speak.
The ghost exits.
'Tis gone and will not answer.
How now, Horatio? You tremble and look pale. Is not this something more than fantasy? What think you on?
Before my God, I might not believe this without the sensible and true avouch of my own eyes.
Is it not like the king?
As thou art to thyself. Such was the very armour he had on when he the ambitious Norway combated. In what particular thought to work I know not, but in the gross and scope of my opinion, this bodes some strange eruption to our state.
Good now, sit down and tell me, he that knows, why this same strict and most observant watch so nightly toils the subjects of this land. Who is that can inform me?
That I can. At least, the whisper goes so. Our last king, whose image even now but appeared to us, was, as you know, by Fontebras of Norway, thereto pricked on by a most emulate pride, dared to the combat in which our valiant Hamlet did slay this Fontebras, who, by a sealed compact, well ratified by law and heraldry, did forfeit with his life all those lands which he stood seized of to the conqueror. Now, sir, young Fortinbras hath, in the skirts of Norway, here and there, sharked up a list of lawless resolutes, as it doth well appear unto our state, but to recover of us by strong hand and terms compulsatory these foresaid lands, so by his father lost, and this I take it, is the main motive of our preparations. The source of this our watch, and the chief head of this post-haste and rummage in the land. But soft, behold, lo, where it comes again.
Re-enter the ghost.
I'll cross it though it blast me. Stay, illusion! If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me.
A cock's crow is heard.
If thou art privy to this country's fate, which haply foreknowing may avoid, oh, speak! Speak of it, stay and speak. Stop it, Marcellus.
The ghost disappears yet again.
'Tis gone.
I was about to speak when the cock crew.
And then it started away like a guilty thing, upon a fearful summons. Break we our watch up, and by my advice, let us impart what we have seen here tonight unto young Hamlet. For upon my life, this spirit dumb to us will speak to him. Do you consent? We shall acquit with it. We shall acquit him with it, as needful in our loves, fitting in our duty.
Let's do it. I pray, and I this morning know where we shall find him most conveniently.
Act 1, Scene 2. The throne room of the castle. Enter Claudius, Gertrude, Hamlet, Polonius, Laertes, Voltimand, Cornelius, lords and attendants.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us befitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we with wisest sorrow think on him together with remembrance of ourselves, therefore our sometimes sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress to this warlike state, have we, as 'twere, with a defeated joy, with one auspicious and one dropping eye, with mirth in funeral and dirge in marriage, in equal scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Now follows what you know. Young Fortinbras, he hath not failed to pester us with message, importing the surrender of those lands lost by his father, with all born bonds of law to our most valiant brother. We have here writs to Norway, uncle of young Fortinbras, to suppress his further gate herein.
Claudius hands the letter to a messenger, who nods and leaves.
And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is it, Laertes? The head is not more native to the heart, the hand more instrumental to the mouth, than is the throne of Denmark to thy father. What wouldst thou have, Laertes?
My dread lord, your leave and favour to return to France, from whence thou willingly I came to Denmark to show my duty in your coronation. Yet now I must confess that duty done, my thoughts and wishes bend again toward France, and how them to your gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes. Time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. But now, my cousin Hamlet and my son.
A little more than kin and less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Well, not so, my lord. I'm too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted colour off, and let thine eye look on a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st, 'tis common, all that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
If it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Oh, seems, madam, nay, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor the dejected haviour of the visage, together with all forms, moods, shapes of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play. But I have that within which passeth show. These but the trappings and the suits of woe.
Oh, 'tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these morning duties to your father. But you must know, your father lost a father, that father lost his, and the survivor bound in filial obligation for some term to do obsequious sorrow. But to persever in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. You are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son, do I impart toward you. For your intent in going back to school in Witterberg, it is most retrograde to our desire, and we beseech you, bend you to remain here in our cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee, stay with us, go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in my best obey you, madam.
Why? 'Tis a loving and fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark. Madam, come. This gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart, in grace whereof no jocund health that Denmark drinks today, but the great cannon to the clouds shall tell. And the king's rouse, the heavens all brew it again, re-speaking early thunder. Come, away.
Exit all but Hamlet.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Oh, or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon girl self-slaughter. Oh, God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie on it up. Fie. 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this. The 2 months dead. Nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that was to this Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to my mother, that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth must I remember. Let me not think on it. Frailty. Thy name is woman. Why even she, oh God, a beast that once discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules, within a month. Ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her galled eyes, she married. Oh, most wicked speed to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good. But break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Enter Horatio, Marcellus, and Bernado.
Hail to your lordship.
Oh, I'm glad to see you well. Horatio! Oh, I do forget myself.
The same, my lord, and your poor servant ever.
Oh, sir, my good friend, I'll change that name with you. And what makes you from Wittenberg, Horatio? Marcellus!
My good lord.
I'm very glad to see you. And good evening, sir. But what in faith make you from Wittenberg?
Truant disposition, good my lord.
Oh, I know you are no truant. But what is your affair in Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you depart.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I pray thee, do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon.
Ah, thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. Would I had met my dearest foe in heaven ere I'd seen that day, Horatio. Oh, my father. Methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
Oh, in my mind's eye, Horatio.
I saw him once. He was a goodly king.
He was a man. Take him all for in all. I shall not look upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father?
2 nights together had these loyal guards, Marcellus and Bernado, on their watch in the dead vast and middle of the night, being thus encountered. A figure, like your father, armed at point exactly, cap a pie, appears before them and with solemn march goes slowly and stately by them. This to me, in dreadful secrecy, in part they did. And I with them, the 3rd night, kept the watch. Where, as they had delivered, both in time, form of the thing, each word made true and good, the apparition comes. I knew your father. These hands are not more like.
But where was this?
My lord, upon the platform where we watched.
Did you not speak to it?
My lord, I did, but answer made it none. Yet once methought it lifted up its head and did address itself to motion, like as it would speak. But even then the morning cock crew loud, and at the sound of it shrunk away in haste and vanished from our sight.
It is very strange. Hold you the watch tonight?
We do, my lord.
How would I have been there?
It would have much amazed you.
Very like, very like. Stayed it long?
While one with moderate haste might tell 100.
Longer.
Not when I sought.
I will watch tonight, but perchance 'twill walk again.
I warrant it will.
If it assume my noble father's person, I'll speak to it, though hell itself should gape and bid me hold my peace. I pray you all, if you have hitherto concealed this sight, let it be tenable in your silence still, and whatsoever else shall hap tonight, give it an understanding, but no tongue. I will requite your loves. So fare you well. Upon the platform, twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
Our duty to your honour.
Your loves is mine to you. Farewell.
Exit all but Hamlet.
My father's spirits in arms. All is not well. I doubt some foul play. Would the night were come. Till then, still my soul, foul deeds will rise, though all the earth overwhelm them to men's eyes.
Act 1, Scene 3. A room in Polonius's house. Enter Laertes and Ophelia.
My necessities are embarked. Farewell. And sister, as the winds give benefit and convoy is assistant, do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
Hamlet and the trifling of his favour, hold it fashion and a toy in his blood, no more.
No more but so.
Think it no more. Perhaps he loves you now, but you must fear. His greatness is weighed. His will is not his own, for he himself is subject to his birth. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself, for on his choice depends the safety and the health of this whole state. Then weigh what loss your honour may sustain, if with too credent ear you list his song, or lose your heart, or cast treasure open, this unmastered importunity. Fear it, Ophelia. Fear it, my dear sister, and keep you in the rear of your affection, out of the shot and danger of desire. Be wary then, best safety lies in fear. Youth to itself rebels, though none else near.
And shall the fact of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart. But, good my brother, do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whilst, like a puffed and reckless libertine himself, the primrose path of dalliance treads, and recks not his own reed.
I fear me not. I stay too long, but here my father comes.
Enter Polonius.
A double blessing is a double grace. Occasion smiles upon a second leave.
Yet here, Laertes, aboard for shame. The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for there. My blessing with you, and these few precepts in thy mind see thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This, above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not be false to any man. farewell. My blessing season this is thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
The time invites you. Go, your servants tend.
Farewell. Ophelia, remember well what I've said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
Laertes exits.
Why is Ophelia? He hath said to you?
So please you, something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Marry, well bethought. 'Tis told me he hath very oft of late given private time to you, and you yourself have of your audience been most free and bounteous. What is between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection? Puh. You speak like a green girl, unsifted in such perilous circumstance. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord, what I should think. My lord, he hath importuned me with love in honourable fashion.
Aye, fashion you may call it. Go to.
And hath given countenance to his speech, my lord, with all the holy vows of heaven.
Aye, springs to catch woodcocks. I do know when the blood burns, how prodigal the soul lends the tongue vows. For this time, daughter, be somewhat scanter of your maiden presence. Set your entreatments at a higher rate than a command to parley. For Lord Hamlet believes so much in him that he is young, and with a larger tether may he walk than may be given you. In few, Ophelia, do not believe his vows, for they are brokers. I would not, in plain terms, from this time forth, have you so slander any moment leisure as to give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you. Come your ways.
I shall obey, my lord.
Act 1, Scene 4, outside the castle. Enter Hamlet, Horatio, and Marcellus.
What hour now?
I think it lacks of 12.
No, it is struck.
Indeed. I heard it not. Then it draws near the season wherein the spirit held his wont to talk.
A flourish of trumpets is heard.
What does this mean, my lord?
Oh, the king doth wake tonight and take his rouse, keeps wassail and the swaggering up spring reels. And as he drains his draughts of Rhenish down, the kettle drum and trumpets thus bray out the triumph of his pledge.
Is it a custom?
Aye, marry, is't. But to my mind, though I am native here, and to the manner born, it is a custom more honoured in the breach than in the observance.
Look, my lord, it comes.
The ghost enters.
Angels and ministers of grace, defend us. Be thou a spirit of health or a goblin damned, thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will speak to thee. I'll call thee Hamlet, King, Father, Royal Dane. Oh, answer me.
The ghost beckons to Hamlet.
It beckons you to go away with it, as if some impartment did desire to you alone.
It will not speak, then I will follow it.
Do not, my lord.
Why? What should be the fear? I do not set my life in a pin's fee, and for my soul, what can it do to that, being a thing immortal as itself? It waves me forth again, I'll follow it. It wasps me still. Go on, I'll follow thee.
You shall not go, my lord.
Hold off your hands.
Be ruled. You shall not go.
My fate cries out. Unhand me. By heaven, I'll make a ghost of him that lets me. I say, away. Go on. I'll follow thee.
The ghost floats off and Hamlet rushes off after it.
He waxes desperate with imagination.
Let's follow. 'Tis not fit thus to obey him.
Have after. To what issue will this come?
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Act 1, Scene 5, the castle gardens. Enter Ghost and Hamlet.
Where wilt thou lead me? Speak, I'll go no further.
Mark me.
I will.
My hour is almost come, when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render myself up.
Alas, poor ghost.
Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak, I am bound to hear.
So art thou to revenge when thou shalt hear.
What?
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fast in fires, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away.
Oh God.
Revenge, his foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder?
Murder most foul, as in the best it is, but this most foul, strange and unnatural.
Haste me to know it, that I with wings as swift as meditation or thought of love may sweep to my revenge.
Now, Hamlet, here. It's given out that, sleeping in my orchard, a serpent stung me, so the whole ear of Denmark is by forged process of my death rankly abused. But know you, noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life, now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul, my uncle.
Aye, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wit, with traitorous gifts, O wicked wit and gifts that have the power to seduce. One to his shameful lust, the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. O Hamlet, what a falling off there was. From me, whose love was that of dignity, that it went hand in hand even with the vow I made to her in marriage, and to decline upon a wretch whose natural gifts were poor to those of mine. But soft, methinks I scent the morning's air. Brief let me be. Sleeping within my orchard, upon my secure hour, thy uncle stole with juice of cursed Hebanon in a vial, and in the porches of my ear did pour the leprous distilment, whose effects hold such an enmity with blood of man that swift as quicksilver it courseth through the natural gates and alleys of the body, and with sudden vigour doth possess and curd like eager droppings into milk, the thin and wholesome blood. So did it mine, and a most instant tetter barked about, most laser-like with vile and loathsome crust, all my smooth body. Thus was I sleeping, by a brother's hand of life, of crown, of queen, at once dispatched, cut off even in the bosoms of my sin. Oh, horrible, horrible, most horrible! If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. But howsoever thou pursuest this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns that in her bosom lodge, to prick and sting her. Fare thee well at once. The glowworm shows the matin to be near, and gins to pale his ineffectual fire. Adieu. Adieu, Hamlet. Remember me.
The ghost disappears.
Oh, all you hosts of heaven. Oh, earth. What else? And I shall couple hell. Oh, fie! Hold my heart, and you, my sinews, grow not instant old, but bear me stiffly up. Remember thee.
Enter Horatio and Marcellus.
How is't, my noble lord?
What news, my lord?
Oh, wonderful.
Good, my lord, tell it.
Oh, there's ne'er a villain dwelling in all of Denmark, but he's an arrant knave.
There needs no ghost, my lord, come from the graves to tell us this.
All right. You're in the right. And so, without more circumstance at all, I hold it fit that we shake hands and part. You, as your business and desire shall point you. For every man has a business and desire, such as it is. And for mine own poor part, look you, I'll go, pray.
These are but wild and whirling words, my lord.
Oh, I'm sorry they offend you heartily. Yes, faith, heartily.
There's no offence, my lord.
Yes, by St. Patrick, but there is, Horatio, and much offence too. Touching this vision here, it is an honest ghost, that let me tell you, for your desire to know what is between us, our masters as you may. And now, good friends, as you are friends, scholars and soldiers, give me one poor request.
What is it, my lord? We will.
Never make known what you have seen tonight.
My lord, we will not.
Nay, but swear it.
In faith, my lord, not I.
Nor I, my lord, in faith.
Oh, day and night, but this is wondrous strange.
And therefore, as a stranger, give it welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than I dreamt of in our philosophy. But come, here as before, never, so help you mercy, how strange or odd soe'er I bear myself, as I perchance hereafter shall think meet to put on an antic disposition, that you, at such time seeing me, never shall, with arms encumbered thus, or with this head shake, or by pronouncing of some doubtful phrase as, well, we know, or we could, and if we would, or such ambiguous giving out to note that you know aught of me. This not to do, so grace and mercy at your most need help you. So, with all my love, I do commend me to you. And what so poor a man as Hamlet is may do to express his love and friending to you, God willing, shall not lack. Let us go in together, and still your fingers on your lips, I pray. The time is out of joint, or cursed spite that ever I was born to set it right. Nay, come, let's go together.
Act 2, Scene 1. A room in Polonius's house. Enter Polonius and Ophelia from opposite sides.
Oh, now, Ophelia, what's the matter?
Oh, my lord, I have been so affrighted.
With what, in the name of God?
My lord, as I was sewing in my chamber, Lord Hamlet, with his doublet all unbraced, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking each other, and with a look so piteous in purpose, as if he had been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors, he comes before me.
Mad for thy love?
My lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
Well, what said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then he goes to thee to the length of all his arm, and with his other hand thus o'er his brow, he falls to such perusal of my face as he would draw it. Long stayed he so. At last, a little shaking of mine arm, and thrice his head thus waving up and down, he raised a sigh so piteous and profound, as it did seem to shatter all his bulk and end his being. That done, he lets me go, and with his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes. For out the doors he went without their helps, and to the last bended their light on me.
Go with me. I will go seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property foredoes itself, and leads the will to desperate undertakings, as oft as any passion under heaven that does afflict our natures. I am sorry. What? Have you given him any hard words of late?
No, my good lord, but as you did command, I did repel his fetters and denied his access to me.
That hath made him mad. I am sorry that with better heed and judgment I had not quoted him. I feared he did but trifle, and meant to wreck thee, but beshrew my jealousy. Come, go we to the king. This must be known, which, being kept close, might move more grief to hide than hate to utter love.
Act 2, Scene 2. A room in the castle. Enter Claudius, Gertrude, Rosencrantz, and Guildenstern, and attendants.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we much did long to see you, that the need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation? I entreat you both that, being of so young days brought up with him, and since so neighbourhood to his youth and humour, that you vouchsafe your rest here in our court some little time, so by your companies to draw him on to pleasures, and to gather so much as from occasion you may glean, whether aught to us unknown afflicts him thus, that opened lies within our remedy.
Good Rosencrantz, we have much talked of you, and sure I am 2 friends there are not living to whom he more adheres.
Both your majesties might, by the sovereign power you have of us, put your dread pleasures more into command than to entreaty.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bent, to lay our service freely at your feet to be commanded.
Oh, thanks, Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern and gentle Rosencrantz, and I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son. Go, some of you, and bring these gentlemen where Hamlet is.
Heavens make our presence and our practices pleasant and helpful to him.
Amen.
Rosencrantz, Guildenstern exit with some attendants. Enter Polonius.
The ambassador from Norway, my good lord, are joyfully returned.
Thou still hast been the father of good news.
Have I, my lord? I assure you, my good liege, I hold my duty as I hold my soul, both to my God and to my gracious king. And I do think, or else this brain of mine hunts not the trail of policy so sure as it hath used to, that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak of that I do long to hear.
My liege and madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is, why day is day, night night, and time is time, were nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness the limbs of outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad, I call it, for to define true madness, what is it but to be nothing else but mad? But let that go.
More matter, less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. That he is mad, 'tis true. 'Tis true. 'Tis pity. Mad, let us grant him, then, and now remains that we find out the cause of this effect. Or rather say, the cause of this defect, for this effect, defective, comes by cause. Thus it remains, and the remainder thus perpend. I have a daughter, have while she is mine, who in her duty and obedience Mark hath given me this. Now, gather and surmise. To the celestial soul's idol, the most beautiful Ophelia. That's an ill phrase, a vile phrase. Beautiful is a vile phrase, but you shall hear. Doubt thou the fires are fine. Doubt that the sun doth move. Doubt truth to the liar, but never doubt I love. O dear Ophelia, I am ill at these numbers. I have not art to reckon my groans, but that I love thee best. O most best. Believe it. Adieu. Thine evermore, most dear lady, whilst this machine is to him, Hamlet. This in obedience hath my daughter shown me, and more above hath his solicitings, as they fell out by time, by means and place, all given to mine ear.
Yeah, but how hath she received his love?
I went round to work, and my young mistress thus I did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince out of the star, this must not be done. And then I precepts gave her that she should lock herself from his resort, admit no messages, receive no tokens, which done, she took the fruits of my advice, and he, repulsed, a short tale to make, fell into a sadness, then into a fast, thence to a watch, thence into a weakness, thence to a likeness, and by this declension, into the madness wherein he now raves, and all we wail for.
Do you think that is this?
It may be, very likely.
Oh, how may we try it further?
You know, sometimes he walks 4 hours together here in the lobby.
So he does indeed.
At such a time, I'll lose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind an arras then. Mark the encounter, if he love her not, and be not from his reason form thereon, let me be no assistant for state, but keep a farm and carters.
We will try it.
But look, where sadly the poor wretch comes reading.
Away, I do beseech you both away. I'll board him presently. Oh, give me leave.
Polonius motions to a hidden mic he has attached to his person. Claudius and Gertrude nod in understanding and exit. Enter Hamlet, reading.
How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Oh, well, God a mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Well, excellent, well. You're a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Oh, then I would you were a honest man.
Honest, my lord?
Aye, sir. To be honest, as this world goes, is to be one man picked out of 10,000.
Well, that's very true, my lord.
Have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
No, let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but not as your daughter may conceive. Friend, look to it.
How say you by that? Still harping on my daughter, yet he know not me first. He said I was a fishmonger. Is he far gone? Far gone? I'll speak to him again. What do you read, my lord?
Words. Words. Words.
What is the matter, my lord?
Oh, between who?
I mean the matter that you read, my lord.
Ah, slanders, sir. For the satirical rogue says here that old men have grey moustaches, that their faces are wrinkled, and they have a plentiful lack of wit, together with the most weak hams. Which, sir, though I most powerfully and potently believe, yet I hold it not honesty to have it thus set down, for yourself, sir, should be as old as I am. If, like a crab, you could go backwards.
Though this be madness, yet there is method in it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Oh, into my grave.
Indeed, that is out the air. How pregnant sometimes his replies are. I will leave him, and suddenly contrive the means of meeting between him and my daughter. My honourable lord, I will most humbly take my leave of you.
Oh, you cannot, sir, take from me anything that I will more willingly part with all. Except my life. Except my life. Except my life.
Fare you well, my lord.
Enter Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
You go seek to Lord Hamlet. There he is.
God save you, sir.
Polonius exits, shaking his head.
My honoured lord.
My most dear lord.
Oh, my most excellent good friends. How dost thou, Guildenstern, Rosencrantz, good friends? How do ye both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy in that we are not over happy. On Fortune's cap, we are not the very button.
Nor the soles of her shoe.
Neither, my lord.
Then you live about her waist, or in the middle of her favours.
Faith, her private's we.
Oh, in the secret parts of Fortune. Almost true, she is a strumpet. What's the news?
None, my lord, but that the world's grown honest.
Ah, then it's doomsday near. but your news is not true. Let me question you more in particular. What have you, my good friends, deserved at the hands of Fortune that she sends you to prison thither?
Prison, my lord.
Well, Denmark's a prison.
Then the world is one.
A goodly one, in which there are many confines, wards, and dungeons, Denmark being all the worst.
Well, we think not so, my lord.
Why, then 'tis none to you, for there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. To me, it is a prison.
Why, then your ambition makes it one. 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
Oh God, I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space. Oh, were it not that I had bad dreams. Shall we to the court?
Oh, we'll wait upon you.
Oh, no such matter. I will not sort you with the rest of my servants, for, to speak to you like an honest man, I am most dreadfully attended. But in the beaten way of friendship, what make you to Elsinore?
To visit you, my lord. No other occasion.
Were you not sent for? Is it your own inclining? Is it a free visitation? Come, deal justly with me. Come, nay, speak. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
I mean, that you must teach me. But let me conjure you, be even and direct with me, whether you were sent for or no.
My lord, we were sent for.
I'll tell you why. So shall my anticipation prevent your discovery, and your secrecy to the king and queen moult no feather. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth. What a piece of work is a man! How noble in reason, in apprehension, how like a god, the beauty of the world, the paragon of animals. And yet to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me. No, nor women neither, though by your smiling you seem to say so.
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Why did you laugh then when I said man delights not me?
To think, my lord, if you delight not in man, what Lenten entertainment the players shall receive from you. We coated them on the way, and hither they are coming to offer you service.
What players are they?
Even those you will want to take delight in, the tragedians of the city.
Oh, how comes it? Do they go rusty?
Nay, their endeavour great keeps in the wanted place.
A flourish of trumpets are heard.
There are the players.
Ah, friends! You're welcome to Elsinore, your hands. Come. You're welcome. But my uncle father and aunt mother are deceived.
In what, my dear lord?
I am mad, but north-northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw.
Enter Polonius.
Well be with you, my lord.
Hark you, Guildenstern, and you two. I will prophesy. He comes to tell me of the players. Mark it.
My lord, I have news to tell you.
Oh, my lord, I have news to tell you. When Roscius was an actor in Rome.
The actors are come hither, my lord.
Buzz, buzz.
Upon mine honour.
Oh, then came each actor on his ass.
The best actors in the world, either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, pastoral comical, historical pastoral, tragical comical, historical pastoral.
Enter the players, including the first, second, and third player.
You are welcome, masters. Welcome all. I'm glad to see thee well. Welcome, good friends. We'll have a speech straight. Come, give us a taste of your quality. Come, a passionate speech.
What speech, my lord?
I heard thee speak me a speech once. Was Ananias, tale to Dido, and thereabout of it, especially where he speaks of Priam's slaughter. If it live in your memory, begin at this line. Let me see. The rugged Pyrrhus, like the Hyrcanian beast. It is not so. It begins with Pyrrhus. Right? The rugged Pyrrhus, he whose sable arms, black as his purpose, did the knight resemble when he lay couched in the ominous horse, have now this dread and black complexion smeared with heraldry more dismal. Head to foot now is he total ghouls, horridly tricked with blood of fathers, mothers, daughters, sons, baked and empasted with the parching streets that lend a tyrannous and damned light to their vile murder. Roasted in wrath and fire, and thus, assized with cogleant gore, with eyes like carbuncles, the hellish Pyrrhus, old Grandshire Priam speaks. And so proceed you.
For God, my lord. Well spoken, with good accent and good discretion.
Yeah.
Anon he finds him, striking too short at Greeks, his antique sword, rebellious to his arm, lies where it falls. Repugnant to command, unequal matched, Pyrrhus and Priam drives, in rage strikes wide, but with the whiff and wind of his fell sword, the unnerved father falls. Then senseless Ilium, seeming to feel this blow, with flaming top stoops to his base, and with a hideous crash takes prisoner Pyrrhus, ere for lo his sword, which was declining on the milky head of Reverend Priam, seeming in the air to stick, so as the painted tyrant Pyrrhus stood, and like a neutral to his will and matter did nothing. Out, out, thou strumpet fortune, or you gods in general synod, take away her power, break all the spokes and fellies from her wheel, and bowl the round nave down the hill of heaven as low as to the fiends.
This is too long.
I shall be to the barber's with your beard. Prithee, say on. Come to Hecuba.
The gods themselves did see her then, when she saw Pyrrhus make malicious sport in mincing with his sword her husband's limbs. The instant burst of clamour that she made, unless things mortal moved them not at all, would have made milch the burning eyes of heaven, and passion in the gods.
Look, where'er he has not turned his colour and has tears in his eyes. Pray you no more.
'Tis well. I'll have thee speak out the rest soon. Good my lord, will you see the players well bestowed? Do you hear? Let them be well used.
My lord, I will use them according to their desert.
Use them after your own honour and dignity. The less they deserve, the more merit is in your bounty. Take them in.
Come, sirs.
So follow him, friends. We'll hear a play tomorrow.
Exit Polonius with all the players but the first.
Does thou hear me, old friend? Can you play The Murder of Gonzago?
Aye, my lord.
We'll have it tomorrow night. You could, for a need, study a speech of some dozen or 16 lines, which I would set down and insert in it. Could you not?
Aye, my lord.
Oh, very well. Follow that lord, and look you mock him not.
The first player exits.
My good friends, I'll leave you till night. You are welcome to Elsinore.
Good, my lord.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern exit.
Now I'm alone. What a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul so to his own conceit that from her working all his visage is waned, tears in his eyes, distractions in aspect, a broken voice, and his whole function suiting with forms to his conceit? And all for nothing. For Hecuba. What's Hecuba to him, or he to Hecuba, that he should weep for her? Am I a coward? Oh, vengeance! Why? What an ass I am! I sure this is most brave that I, the son of a dear father murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must like a whore unpack my heart with words and fall a cursing like a very drab scullion. Fie upon it all! Fie about my brain! Because I've heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have by the very cunning of the scene been struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions. For murder, though it have no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks, I'll tempt him to the quick. If he but belch, I'll know my course. The spirit that I have seen may be the devil, and the devil have power to assume a pleasing shape. Yea, and perhaps out of my weakness and my melancholy, as he's very potent with such spirits, abuses me to damn me. I'll have grounds more relative than this. The play's the thing, wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
Act 3, Scene 1. A hall in the castle. Enter Claudius, Gertrude, Polonius, Ophelia, Rosencrantz, and Guildenstern.
And can you, by no drift of circumstance, get from him why he puts on this confusion, grating so harshly all his days of quiet with turbulent and dangerous lunacy?
He does confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause he will by no means speak.
Nor do we find him forward to be sounded, but with a crafty madness keeps aloof when we would bring on to some confession of his true state.
Did he receive you well?
Most like a gentleman.
But with much forcing of his disposition.
Did you essay him to any pastime?
Madam, it so fell out that certain players we o'erwrought on the way. Of these we told him, and there did seem in him a kind of joy to hear of it. They are about the court, and as I think, they have already ordered this night to play before him.
'Tis most true, and he beseeched me to entreat your majesties to hear and see the matter.
With all my heart, and it doth much content me to hear him so inclined. Good gentlemen, give him a further edge, and drive his purpose on to these delights.
We shall, my lord.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern exit.
Sweet Gertrude, leave us too. For we have closely sent for Hamlet hither, that he, as 'twere by accident, may here affront Ophelia. Her father and myself, lawful espials, will so bestow ourselves that, seeing unseen, we may of their encounter frankly judge, and gather by him as he is behaved, if it be the affliction of his love, or no, that thus he suffers for.
I shall obey you, and for your part, Ophelia, I do wish that your good beauties be the happy cause of Hamlet's wildness. So shall I hope your virtues will bring him to the wonted way again. To both your honours.
Madam, I wish it may.
Gertrude exits.
Ophelia, walk you here. Gracious, so please you. We will bestow ourselves. Read on this book. I hear him coming. Let's withdraw, my lord.
Claudius and Polonius exit to hide. Enter Hamlet.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against the sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep, no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache and 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub, for in that sleep of death what dreams may come, and we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life, for who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin? Who with fardel bears to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will, and make us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pith and moment with this regard their currents turn away, and they lose the name of action. Oh, soft you now. The fair Ophelia, nymph, in thy orisons be all my sins remembered.
Good, my lord. How does your honour for this many a day?
I humbly thank you well.
My lord, I have remembrances of yours, that I have longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
No, not I. I never gave you aught.
My honoured lord, you know right well you did. And with them words of so sweet breath composed as made the things more rich, their perfume lost. Take these again, for to the noble mind rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Are you honest?
My lord?
Are you fair?
What means your lordship?
Oh, that if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than with honesty?
Aye, truly, for the beauty, the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bawd than the force of honesty can translate beauty into his likeness. I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so.
You should not have believed me. I love you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent, honest, but yet I could accuse me of such things that it were better my mother had not borne me. We are arrant knaves all, but believe none of us. So go thy way to a nunnery. Where's your father?
At home, my lord.
Well, let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in his own house. Farewell.
Oh, help him, you sweet heavens.
Oh, get thee to a nunnery. Go, farewell. Or if thou wilt need marry a fool. For wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery go, and quickly too. Farewell.
Oh, heavenly powers, restore him.
Oh, I've heard of your paintings too well enough. God has given you one face, and you make yourselves another. Go to, I'll no more on it. It hath made me mad. I say we'll have no more marriages. Those that are married already, all but one, shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery go.
Hamlet storms off.
Oh, what a noble mind is here overthrown. The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword, the expectancy and rose of the fair state, the glass of fashion and the mould of form, the observed of all observers quite down. And I, of ladies most deject and wretched, that suck the honey of his music vows, now see that noble and most sovereign reason like sweet bells jangled out of tune and harsh, that unmatched form and feature of blown youth, blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me, to have seen what I have seen, see what I see.
Re-enter Claudius and Polonius.
Love. His affections do not that way tend, nor what he spake, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness. There's something in his soul o'er which melancholy sits on brood, and I do doubt the hatch and the disclose will be some danger, for which to prevent, I have in quick determination thus set it down. He shall with speed to England. What think you on it?
It shall do well, but yet I do believe the origin of the commencement of his grief sprung from the neglected love. How now, Ophelia? You need not tell us what Lord Hamlet said. We heard it all. My lord, do as you please, but if you hold it fit, after the play, let his queen mother all alone entreat him to show his griefs. Let her be round with him, and I'll be placed, so please you, in the ear of all in their conference. If she finds him not, to England send him, or confine him where your wisdom best shall think.
It shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go.
Act 3, Scene 2. The castle's main hall. Enter Hamlet and the players.
Speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounced it to you, trippingly on the tongue, for if you mouth it, as many of our players do, I had lief the town crier had spoke my lines. Go, make you ready.
The players all exit to prepare for the show.
What ho, Horatio?
Enter Horatio.
Here, sweet lord, at your service.
Horatio, thou art even as just a man, as ere my conversation coats withal.
Oh, my dear lord.
Nay, do not think I flatter. There is a play tonight before the king. One scene of it comes near the circumstance which I have told thee of my father's death. I prithee, when thou seest that act afoot, even with the very comment of thy soul, observe my uncle. If his occult guilt do not take itself unkennel in one speech, it is a damned ghost that we have seen, and my imaginations are as foul as Vulcan's stithy. Give him heedful note, for mine eyes will rivet to his face, and after we will both our judgments join in censure of his seeming.
Well, my lord, if you steal aught whilst this play is playing and escape detecting, I'll pay the theft.
They are coming to play. I must be idle. Get to your place.
Enter Claudius, Gertrude, Polonius, Ophelia, Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, and others.
How fares our cousin Hamlet?
Ah, excellent in faith. Of the charmeleon's dish, I eat the air promise crammed. You cannot feed capers so.
I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
No, nor mine now. My lord, you played once at the university, you say?
That I did, my lord. I was accounted a good actor.
What did you enact?
I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol. Brutus killed me.
Oh, it was a brute part of him to kill so capital a calf there. Be the players ready?
Aye, my lord, they stay upon your patience.
Come hither, my dear Hamlet, sit by me.
Oh no, good mother. Here's metal more attractive.
Oh ho! Do you mark that?
Lady, shall I lie in your lap?
No, my
Hamlet
lord.
lays his head on Ophelia's lap.
I mean, my head upon your lap.
Aye, my lord.
Did you think I meant country matters?
You are merry, my lord.
Who, I?
Aye, my lord.
Enter the third player, and the audience hushes.
For us and for our tragedy, here stopping to your clemency, we beg your hearing patiently.
The third player bows and leaves.
Is this a prologue? Or the posy of a ring?
'Tis brief, my lord.
As woman's love.
Enter the first and second players as king and queen.
Full of 30 times has Phoebus's cart gone round, since love our hearts and Hymen did our hands unite commutual in most sacred bands.
So many journeys may the sun and moon make us again count, or ere love be done. But woe is me, you are so sick of late, so far from cheer and from your former state, that I distrust you.
Faith, I must leave thee, love, and shortly too.
Oh, confound the rest! Such love must needs be treason in my breast. In second husband, me be accursed. None wed the second, but who killed the first.
Wormwood. Wormwood.
The instances that second marriage move are base respects of thrift, but none of love. A second time I kill my husband dead, when second husband kisses me in bed.
I do believe you think what now you speak, but what we do determine oft we break. Our wills and fates do so contrary run, that our devices still are overthrown. Our thoughts are ours, their ends none of our own. So think thou wilt no second husband wed, but die my thoughts when thy first lord is dead.
Nor earth to give me food, nor heaven light, sport and repose lock from me day and night. Meet what I would have well and it destroy. Both here and hence pursue me lasting strife, if once a widow, ever I be wife.
She should break it now.
'Tis deeply sworn, sweet, leave me here a while. My spirits grow dull and fain, and I would beguile the tedious day with sleep.
The player king lies down and sleeps.
Sleep rock thy brain, and never come mischance between us twain.
The player queen exits.
Madam, how like you this play?
The lady protests too much, methinks.
Oh, but she'll keep her word.
What do you call the play?
The Mousetrap. Marry how? Tropically. This play is the image of a murder done in Vienna. Gonzago is the duke's name, his wife Baptista. You shall see anon. 'Tis a knavish piece of work.
Enter the third player.
This one is Lucianus, nephew to the king.
You are as good as a chorus, my lord.
Thoughts black, hands apt, drugs fit and time agreeing. Confederate season else no creature seeing. Thou mak'st your rank of midnight weeds collected, with Hecate's band thrice blasted, thrice infected. Thy natural magic and dire property, on wholesome life usurp immediately.
Lucianus pours the poison in the sleeper's ears.
He poisons him in the garden for his estate. His name's Gonzago, the story is extant, and the writ in choice Italian. You shall see anon how the murderer gets the love of Gonzago's wife.
The king rises.
What, frighted with false fire?
How fares my lord?
Give over the play.
Gives me some light. Away!
Lights! Lights! Lights!
Claudius rushes out, clearly disturbed, followed after by the other audience members. There will now be a 10-minute intermission. Act 3, Scene 2, continued. The castle's main hall. Horatio sits on the edge of the stage as Hamlet paces up and down upon it.
Oh, good Horatio, I'll take the ghost's words for £1,000. Didst perceive it?
Very well, my lord.
Upon the talk of the poisoning.
I did very well note him.
Ha ha, come, some music, come, the recorders. For if the king like not the comedy, why then the like he likes it not. Birdie, come, some music.
My good lord, vouchsafe me a word with you.
Sir, a whole history.
The queen, your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, had sent me to you.
My mother, you say?
Your behaviour hath struck her into amazement and admiration.
Oh, wonderful son, that can so astonish a mother. But is there no sequel at the heels of this mother's admiration?
She desires to speak with you in her closet ere you go to bed.
We shall obey, were she 10 times our mother. Have you any further trade with us?
My lord, you once did love me.
So I do still, by these pickers and stealers.
Good my lord, what is the cause of your distemper?
Love, I lack advancement.
How can that be when you have the voice of the king himself for your succession in Denmark?
Oh, the recorders, let me see one. To withdraw with you. Why do you go about to recover the wind of me as if you would drive me into a toil?
Oh, my lord, if my duty be too bold, my love is too unmannerly.
I do not well understand that. Will you pay upon this pipe?
I know no touch of it, my lord.
Oh, 'tis as easy as lying. Govern these ventures with your finger and thumb, give it breath with your mouth, and it will discourse most excellent music. Look, these are the stops.
But I cannot command these to any utterance of harmony. I have not the skill.
Why look you now how unworthy a thing you make of me? You would play upon me. You would seem to know my stops. Why do you think I'm easier to be played on than a pipe? Call me what instrument you will, though you can fret me, you cannot play upon me. God bless you, sir.
My lord, the queen would speak with you.
Do you see yonder cloud that's almost in the shape of a camel?
By the mass, and it is like a camel.
Or
indeed.
like a whale.
Very like a whale.
Then I will come to my mother by and by. They fall me to the top of my bent. I will come by and by.
I will say so.
By and by is easily said. Leave me, friends. 'Tis now the very witching time of night. Now could I drink hot blood and do such bitter business as the day would wait to look on. Soft now to my mother. O heart, lose not thy nature. Let me be cruel, not unnatural. I will speak daggers to her, but use none. My tongue and soul in this be hypocrites. How in my words soever she be shent, to give me seals, never my soul consent.
Act 3, Scene 3. Claudius's study. Enter Claudius, Rosencrantz, and Guildenstern.
I like him not, nor stands it safe with us to let his madness range. Therefore prepare you.
Sorry.
I your commission will forthwith dispatch, and he to England shall along with you. The terms of our estate may not endure hazard so dangerous as doth hourly grow out of his lunacies.
We will ourselves provide most holy and religious fear it is to keep those many, many bodies safe that live and feed upon your majesty.
We will host us.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern exit. Enter Polonius.
My lord, he's going to his mother's closet. Behind the arras I'll convey myself to hear the process. I'll warrant she'll tax him home. Fare you well, my liege. I'll call upon you ere you go to bed and tell you what I know.
Thanks, dear my lord.
Polonius exits.
My offence is rank, and it smells to heaven. It hath the primal elder's curse upon it, a brother's murder. Pray, can I not? Though inclination be as sharp as will, my stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. And like a man to double business bound, I stand in pause where I shall first begin, and both neglect. But oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Like, forgive me my foul murder. That cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder. My crown, mine own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offence? Oh, wretched state! Oh, bosom black as death! Oh, limed soul, that struggling to be free, art more engaged. Help! Angels, make essay! Bow, stubborn knees, and heart with strings of steel, be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well.
Claudius kneels. Enter Hamlet.
Now might I do it. Perhaps now he is praying, and now I'll do it. And so he goes to heaven, and so am I revenged. That would be scanned. A villain kills my father, and for that I, his foul son, do this same villain send to heaven. Oh, this is higher, and salary, not revenge. No, up sword, and know thou a more horrid bent. When he is drunk, asleep, or in his rage, then trip him, that his heels may kick at heaven, and that his soul may be as damned and blacked as hell whereto it goes. My mother stays, the psychic but prolongs thy sickly days.
Hamlet exits.
My words fly up, my thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
Act 3, Scene 4, The Queen's Closet. Enter Gertrude and Polonius.
He will come straight. Look you lay home to him. Pray you be round with him.
Mother! Mother! Mother!
Warrant you, fear me not, withdraw, I hear him coming.
Polonius hides behind the curtains. Enter Hamlet.
Now, mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Why, how now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Have you forgot me?
You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and were it not so, you are my mother.
Nay, then I'll set those to you that can speak.
Come, come and sit down, you shall not budge. You go not till I set up a glass where you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me. Help, help, ho!
What? Ho, help, help, help!
How now, a rat? Dead for a ducat, dead!
Hamlet stabs the curtain.
Oh! Oh! I am slain!
Polonius falls and dies.
Oh, me, what hast thou done?
Hey, I know not. Is it the king?
What a rash and bloody deed is this?
A bloody deed. Almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
Is kill a king?
Aye, lady. 'Twas my word. Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool. Farewell. I took thee for thy better, Polonius.
That thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me.
Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty.
Me, what act that roars so loud and thunders in the index?
Oh, look here upon this picture and on this. The counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See what a grace was seated on this brow. This was your husband. Look you now what follows. Here is your husband, like a mildew ear, blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Oh, shame! Where is thy blush?
Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turn'st mine eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grained spots as will not leave their taint.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an unseamed bed, stewed in corruption, honey, and making love of the nasty sty.
Oh, speak no more. These words like daggers enter in mine ears no more. Sweet Hamlet.
Oh, murderous villain. A slave that is not 20th part the tithe of your preceding lord, a vice of kings.
No more.
A king of shreds and patches.
The ghost appears in the room.
Save me and hover me over with your wings. You heavenly gods, what would you, gracious figure?
Alas, he's mad.
Do you not come your tardy son to chide? That lapsed in time and passion, let's go by the important acting of your dread command, oh say.
Speak to her, Hamlet.
How is it, lady?
Alas, how is it with you that you do bend your eye on vacancy, and with the incorporeal air do hold discourse? Whereon do you look?
On him! On him! Look! How pale he glares! Do you see nothing there?
Nothing at all, yet all that is I see.
Why, look you there! Look how he steals away. My father in his habit as he lived. Look where he goes, even now out at the portal.
The ghost fades away.
This the very coinage of your brain. This fabulous creation, ecstasy, is very cunning in.
Ecstasy. My pulse as yours does temperately keep time and makes as healthful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Bring me to the test, and I the matter will reword which madness would gamble from. Mother, for love of grace, confess yourself to heaven. Repent what's past, avoid what is to come. But do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them ranker.
Hamlet, you cleft my heart in twain.
Oh, throw away the worst part of it and live the pure with the other half. Good night. But go not to mine uncle's bed. Once more, good night. And when you are so desirous to be blessed, our blessing beg of you. Oh, for this same Lord.
Hamlet starts to pick up Polonius's dead body.
I do repent, but heaven hath pleased it so to punish me with this, and this with me. Then I must be their scourge and minister. I will bestow him, and will answer well the death I gave him. So again, good night. I must be cruel, only to be kind. Thus bad begins and worse remains behind.
What shall I do?
Not this by no means that I bid you do. Let the bloke king tempt you again to bed. Make you to ravel all this matter out that I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft. And what good you let him know.
Be thou assured, if words be made of breath, and breath of life, I have no life to breathe what thou hast said to me.
I must to England. You know that.
Like, I had forgot, it is so concluded on.
This man shall set me packing. I'll lug the guts into the neighbour room. Mother, good night. Indeed, this counsellor is now most still, most secret and most grave, who was in life a foolish prating knave. Come, sir, to draw toward an end with you. Good night, mother.
Hamlet drags out Polonius. Enter Claudius.
There's matter in these sighs, these profound heaves. You must translate. 'Tis fit we understand them. Where is your son?
Oh my good lord, what have I seen tonight?
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad as the sea and the wind, when both contend which is the mightier in his lawless fits. Behind the arras, hearing something stir, whips out his rapier, cries, a rat, and in this brainish apprehension kills the unseen good old man.
Oh, heavy deed. Alas, how shall this bloody deed be answered? Where is he gone?
To draw apart the body he hath killed, whom his very madness, like some ore among mineral of metal bases, shows itself pure. He weeps for what is done.
Oh, Gertrude, come away. The sun no sooner shall the mountains touch, but we will ship him hence. And this vile deed we must, with all our majesty and skill, both countenance and excuse. Ho, Guildenstern!
Enter Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Friends, both, go join you with some further aid. Hamlet in madness hath Polonius slain, and from his mother's closet hath he dragged him. Go, seek him out, speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. I pray you, haste in this.
Act 4, Scene 1, the castle hallways. Enter Hamlet.
Safely stowed.
Hamlet? Lord Hamlet?
What noise? Who calls on Hamlet? Oh, here they come.
Enter Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
What have you done, my lord, with the dead body?
Compounded it with dust whereto 'tis kin.
Tell us where 'tis, that we may take it thence and bear it to chapel.
Do not believe it.
Believe what?
That I can keep your counsel and not mine own. Besides, to be demanded of by a sponge.
My lord, you must tell us where the body is and go with us to the king.
Oh, well, the body is with the king, but the king is not with the body. The king is a thing.
A thing, my lord.
Of nothing.
Hamlet runs off. Act 4, Scene 2, Claudius's study. Enter Claudius, attended.
I have sent to seek him and to find the body. How dangerous is it that this man goes loose? Yet must not we put the strong law on him? He's loved of the distracted multitude, who like not in their judgment, but their eyes. And where 'tis so, the offender's scourge is weighed, but ne'er the offence. To bear all smooth and even, this sudden sending him away must seem deliberate pause. Diseases desperate grown by desperate appliance are relieved, or not at all.
Enter Rosencrantz.
How now? What hath befallen?
Where the dead body is bestowed, my lord, we cannot get from him.
Bring him before us.
Ho, Guildenstern, bring in my lord.
Enter Guildenstern, followed by Hamlet, who is being held by guards.
Now, Hamlet, where's Polonius?
At supper.
At supper. Where?
Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain convocation of worms are e'en at him. Your worm is your only emperor for diet. We fat all creatures else to fat us, and we fat ourselves from maggots.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven. Send thither to see. If your messenger find him not there, or seek him in the other place yourself. But indeed, if you find him not within this month, you shall notice him as you go up the stairs into the lobby.
Go seek him there.
Some attendants begin to leave.
Well, he will stay till you come.
The attendants exit.
Hamlet, this deed, for thine especial safety, which we do tender, as we dearly grieve for that which thou hast done, must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself. The bark is ready and the wind at help. The associates tend and everything is bent for England.
For England.
Aye, Hamlet.
Good.
So is it, if thou knewest our purposes.
I saw a cherub that sees them. But come, for England. Farewell, dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
Oh no, my mother. Father and mother is man and wife. Man and wife is one flesh, and so, my mother. Come, for England.
Hamlet is taken off.
Follow him at foot. Tempt him with speed aboard. Delay it not. I'll have him hence tonight. Away! For everything is sealed and done. That else leans on the affair. Pray you, make haste.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern follow after Hamlet.
And England? If my love thou hold'st at aught, thou mayst not coldly set our sovereign process, which imports at full by letters congruing to that effect, the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England. For like the hectic in my blood he rages, and thou must cure me. Till I know 'tis done, however, mayhaps, my joys were ne'er begun.
Act 4, Scene 3. A plain in Denmark. Enter Hamlet, Rosencrantz, Guildenstern. Below them an army marches. A captain approaches.
Good ma'am, whose powers are these?
They are of Norway, sir.
Or who commands them?
The nephews to old Norway, Fortinbras.
I humbly thank you, ma'am.
God be with you, sir.
The captain exits.
Wilt please you go, my lord?
I'll be with you straight. Go a little before.
Exit all but Hamlet.
How all occasions do form against me and spur my dull revenge. What is a man, if his chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed? A beast, no more. Sith, I have cause and will and strength and means to do it. Examples gross as earth exhort me. Witness this army of such mass and charge, led by a delicate and tender prince. Rightly to be great is not to stir without great argument, but greatly to find quarrel in a straw when honour's at the stake. How stand I then, that have a father killed, a mother stained, excitement of my reason and my blood, and let all sleep, while to my shame I see the imminent death of 20,000 men, that, for a fantasy and trick of fame, go to their graves like beds, fight for a plot, whereon the numbers cannot try the cause, which is not tomb enough and continent to hide the slain. From this time forth, my thoughts be bloody, or be nothing worth.
Act 4, Scene 4. A room in the castle. Enter Gertrude and Horatio.
I will not speak with her.
She is importunate, indeed, distract. Her mood will needs be pitied.
What would she have?
She speaks much of her father, says she hears there's tricks in the world, and hems and beats her heart. 'Twere good she was spoken with, for she may strew dangerous conjectures in ill-breeding minds.
Better come in.
Horatio exits.
To my sick soul, as sin's true nature is, each toy seems prologue to some greater miss. So full of artless jealousy is guilt. It spills itself in fearing to be spilt.
Re-enter Horatio with Ophelia.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
How now, Ophelia?
How should I your true love know from another one? By his cockle hat and staff and his sandal shoon.
Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song?
Say you, nay pray you, Mark. He is dead and gone, lady, he is dead and gone. At his head a grass-green turf, at his heels a stone.
Alas.
Enter Claudius.
Look here.
Larded with sweet flowers, which bewed to the grave did go with true love showers.
How do you, pretty lady?
Well, God yield you. They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table.
Conceit upon her father.
Pray you, let's have no words of this. But when they ask you what it means, say you this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in the morning good time. And I am made at your window to be your Valentine. Then up he rose and donned his clothes and up to the chamber door. Let in the maid that out a maid never departed more.
Pretty, Ophelia.
Quoth she, before she tumbled me, you promised me to wed. So would I had done by yonder psalm, and thou hadst not come to my bed.
Long hath she been thus?
I hope all will be well. We must be patient, but I cannot choose but weep to think that they should lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it. And so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night, good night.
Ophelia is led off by Horatio.
This is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from a father's death. Oh, Gertrude, Gertrude, when sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. First her father slain, next your son gone, and he most violent author of his own just remove. The people muddied, thick and unwholesome in their thoughts and whispers for good Polonius' death. And we have done but greenly in hugger-mugger to inter him. Poor Ophelia, divided from herself and her fair judgment, without the which we are pictures or mere beasts. Last, and as much containing all of these, her brother is in secret come from France. Oh, my dear Gertrude, this, like to a murdering peace, in many places gives me superfluous death.
A crash is heard.
Alack, what noise is this?
Enter Laertes armed.
Where is this king? O thou vile king, give me my father.
Family, good Laertes.
That drop of blood that's calm proclaims me bastard, cries cuckold to my father, brands the harlot even here, between the chaste unsmirched brow of my true mother.
What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like?
Where's my father?
Dead.
But not by him.
Let him demand his fill.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell allegiance, vows to the blackest devil. Let come what comes. Only I'll be avenged most thoroughly for my father.
Good, Laertes. If you desire to know the certainty of your dear father's death, is it writ in your revenge that sweepstake you will draw both friend and foe, winner and loser?
None but his enemies.
Will you know them then?
To his good friend thus wide I'll open my arms, and like the kind life-rendering pelican, repeat them with my blood.
Why, now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman. That I am guiltless of your father's death, and am in most sensible grief for it. It shall as level to your judgment pierce as day does to your eye.
A clatter and a cry is heard.
How now? What noise is that?
Re-enter Ophelia with Horatio, re-entering soon after.
Oh, heat! Try up my brains, tears 7 times salt burn out the sense of virtue of mine eye. Dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia.
They bore him barefaced on the bier, hey nonny, nonny, hey nonny, and in his grave ran many a tear. Fare you well, my dove.
Hadst thou thy wits, and didst persuade revenge, it could not move thus.
There's rosemary, that's for remembrance. Pray, love, remember. And there is pansies, and that's for thoughts. There's fennel for you, and columbines. That's rue for you. And here's some for me, and we may call it Her Grace Sundays. Oh, you must wear your rue with a difference. There's daisy, and I would give you some violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say he made a good end.
Thought and affliction, passion, hell itself, she turns to favour and to prettiness.
And will he not come again, and will he not come again? No, no, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed. He never will come again. His beard was as white as snow, all flaxen was his poll. He is gone, and we cast away moan. God have mercy on his soul. And of all Christian souls, I pray God, God be with ye.
Again, Horatio leads Ophelia out.
Do you see this, you gods?
Laertes, I must commune with your grief, or you deny me right.
Let this be so. It means of his obscure burial. No trophy, sword, nor hatchment o'er his bones, no noble right or formal ostentation. Cry to be heard as 'twere from heaven to earth, that I must call in question.
So you shall. And where the offence is let, the great axe fall. I pray you go with me.
Act 4, Scene 5. Another room in the castle. Enter Horatio and Gertrude.
Madame, your son is safe arrived in Denmark. His letter I even now received of him, wherein he writes how he escaped the danger and the subtle treason that the king had plotted. He found a packet sent to the King of England, wherein he saw himself betrayed to death.
So truly there is treason in the king. He seemed to sugar over his villainy. But I will soothe and please him for a while, for murderous minds are always jealous. But know you not, Horatio, where Hamlet is?
Yes, madame. And he hath appointed me to meet him on the east side of the city tomorrow morning.
Oh, fail not, good Horatio, and withal commend me a mother's love to him. But bid him be wary of his presence, lest that he fail in that he goes about.
I think by this the news be come to court. Hamlet returns. Observe the king, and you shall quickly find, Hamlet being here, things fell not to his plan.
Thanks be to heaven for blessing of the prince. Horatio, once again, I take my leave, with 1,000 mothers' blessings to my son.
Madame, adieu.
Act 4, Scene 6. Claudius's study. Enter King Claudius and Laertes.
Now must your conscience my acquaintance seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend. Sith you have heard, and with a knowing ear, that he which hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
Well appears. Tell me, why you proceeded not against these feats, so crimeful and so capital in nature, as by your safety, wisdom, and all things else, you mainly were stirred up.
Oh, for 2 special reasons. The queen, his mother, lives almost by his looks, and for myself, she's so conjunctive to my life and soul that as the star moves not but in his sphere, I could not but by her. The other motive, why, to a public account I might not go, was the great love the general gender bear him, who, dipping all his faults in their affection, would like the spring that turneth wood to stone, convert his gyves to graces, that my arrows, too slightly timbered for so loud a wind, would have reverted to my bow again, and not where I had aimed them.
And so have I a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate terms, whose has, if praises may go back again, stood challenger on mount of all age for her perfection. My revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps for that. You must not think that we are made of stuff so flat and dull that we can let our beard be shook with danger and think it pastime. You shortly shall hear more. I loved your father, and we love ourselves, and that, I hope, will teach you to imagine.
Enter Osric.
How now? What news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. This to your majesty, this to the queen.
From Hamlet? Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us.
Osric exits.
High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall first, asking your pardon thereunto, recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet, what should this mean? Are all the rest come back? Or is it some abuse, or no such thing?
Let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart that I shall live and tell him to his teeth. Thus diest thou.
If it be so, Laertes, as how should it be so? How otherwise? Will you be ruled by me?
My lord, I will be ruled.
If all's right. You have been talked of since your travel much, and that in Hamlet's hearing for a quality wherein they say you shine. Your sum of parts did not together pluck such envy from him as did that one, and that in my regard of the unworthiest siege.
What part is that, my lord?
One made confession of you, and gave you such a masterly report for art and exercise in your defense, and for your rapier most especially. Sir, this report of his did Hamlet so envenom with his envy that he could do nothing but wish and beg your sudden coming over to play with him. Now, out of this.
What out of this, my lord?
Laertes, was your father dear to you? Or are you like the painting of sorrow, a face without a heart?
Why ask you this?
What would you undertake to show yourself your father's son in deed more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place indeed should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should have no bounds. But good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. Hamlet returned shall know you are come home. Will put on those shall praise your excellence, bring you in fine together and wager on your heads. He, being remiss, most generous and free from all contriving, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a pass of practice, requite him for your father.
I will do it, and for that purpose, I will anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank. I'll touch my point. With this contagion, I shall guard him slightly. It may be death.
Let's further think of this. We'll make a solemn wager on your cunnings. I have it. When in your motion you are hot and dry, as make your bouts more violent to that end, and that he calls for drink, I'll have prepared him a chalice for the nonce, whereon but sipping, if he but by chance escapes your venom struck, our purpose may hold there.
Enter Gertrude.
How now, sweet queen?
One woe doth tread upon another's heel. So fast thou follow. Your sister, Laertes, she's drowned.
Drowned? Oh, where?
There's a willow that grows aslant a brook and that shows his o'er leaves in the glassy stream. There with fantastic garlands she did come of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples that liberal shepherds give a grosser name, but our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. There on the pendant boughs of her coronet weeds, clambering to hang on envious sliver broke, when down her weedy trophies and herself fell in that weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide and mermaid-like, a while they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old tunes, as one incapable of her own distress. Or like a creature native and endued unto that element, but long it could not be till that her garments heavy with their drink pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas, then she is drowned.
Drowned. Drowned.
Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia. And therefore I forbid my tears. Adieu, my lord. I have a speech of fire that fain would blaze, but that this folly doubts it.
Laertes exits.
Let's follow Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now fear I this will give its start again. Therefore, let's follow.
Act 5, Scene 1, a graveyard. A gravedigger digs at a new grave. Hamlet and Horatio enter at a distance and approach as he digs and sings.
Oh, in youth when I did love me, thought it was very sweet. Hey, contact of the time, for a bit my beloved, only thought there was nothing in me. Hey!
Has this fellow no feeling of his business that he sings at grave making?
Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness.
Oh, 'tis even so. The hand of little employment hath the daintier sense. Whose grave's this, sirrah?
Mine, sir.
I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in it.
Or you lie out on it, sir, and therefore it is not yours. For my part, I do not lie in it, yet it is mine.
What man dost thou dig it for?
Not a man, sir.
What woman then?
For none either.
Who is to be buried in it?
One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul, she's dead.
How absolute the knave is. How long hast thou been a grave maker?
Of all the days in the year, I came to that day that our last King Hamlet overcame 14 bras.
How long is that since?
Cannot you tell that? Every fool can tell that. It was the very day that young Hamlet was born. He that is mad and sent to England.
Aye, marry. Why was he sent into England?
Why, because he was mad.
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
Here's a skull now. This skull is lying in the earth 23 years.
Who was it?
Oh, a wholesome fellow he was. He poured a flagon of Rhenish on my head once. This same skull, sir, was Sir Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
This?
In that.
Oh, let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. For he hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rims at it. Where's your jibes now, your gambols, your songs? Prithee, Horatio, tell me a thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander looked of this fashion in the earth?
Even so.
Oh, and smelt so.
Even so, my lord.
Soft aside, here comes the king.
Enter a funeral procession for Ophelia, followed by Laertes, Claudius, Gertrude, and their trains.
Queen and the courtiers. Who is this they follow? And with such maimed rites, couch we a while and mark.
Hamlet and Horatio hide away.
Lay her in the earth, and from her fair unpolluted flesh may violets spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, my ministering angel shall my sister be when thou liest howling.
What? The fair Ophelia?
Sweets to the sweet. Farewell. I hoped you should have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have decked sweet maid, not to have strewed thy grave.
Hold off the earth a while till I have caught her once more in mine arms.
Laertes leaps into the grave and grabs up his dead sister.
Now pile your dust upon the quick and dead, till of this flat a mountain you have made.
What is his grief? Whose grief bears such emphasis? Whose phrase of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like wandering, wounded hearers? This is I, Hamlet the Dane.
Hamlet leaps into the grave also.
The devil take thy soul.
The two grapple and fight.
Thou prayest not well. I prithee, take thy fingers from my throat.
Pluck them asunder.
Hamlet!
Good my lord, be quiet.
The attendants part them and they come out of the grave.
I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not, with all their quantity of love, make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her?
Oh, he is mad,
For the
Laertes.
love of God, forbear him!
Come, show me what thou'lt do. Would weep, would fight, would fast, would tear thyself? I'll do it. Dost thou come here to whine, to outface me with leaping in her grave? What is the reason that you use me thus? I loved you ever, but it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew, and the dog will have his day.
Hamlet runs off.
Pray you, good Horatio, wait upon him.
Horatio nods and follows after Hamlet.
Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present push. Good Gertrude, set some watch over your son. His grave shall have a living monument. An hour of quiet shortly shall we see. Till then, in patience our proceeding be.
Act 5, Scene 2, the castle's main hall. Enter Hamlet and Horatio.
So for this much, sir, now you should see the other. You do remember all the circumstance?
Remember it, my lord?
Sir, in my heart there was a kind of fighting that would not let me sleep. Up from my cabin, my sea gown scarfed around me. In the dark, I groped to find out them. Had my desire fingered their packet, and in fine withdrew to mine own room again, making so bold, my fears forgetting manners, to unseal their grand commission, where I found Horatio, oh, royal knavery, an exact command, larded with many several sorts of reasons, importing Denmark's health and England's too, with such bugs and goblins in my life, that on the supervise, no leisure baited, no, not to stay the grinding of the axe, my head should be struck off.
Is it possible?
Well, here's the commission, read it at more leisure. But wilt thou hear me how I did proceed?
I beseech you.
Being thus benetted round with villainies, I sat me down, devised a new commission, wrote it fair, an earnest conjuration from the king, as England was his fatal tributary, that on the view and the knowing of these contents, without debatement further, more or less, he should have the bearers put to sudden death, not shriving time allowed.
So Guildenstern and Rosencrantz go to it?
Oh, why, man, they did make love to this employment. They're not near my conscience. Oh, but I am very sorry, good Horatio, that to Laertes I forgot myself. For by the image of my course I see the portraiture of his. I'll court his favours, but sure the bravery of his grief did put me into a towering passion.
Peace. Who comes here?
Enter Osric.
Your lordship is right welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you, miss.
I come with an embassage from His Majesty to you.
I shall, miss, give you attention.
My lord, His Majesty bade me signify to you that he has laid a great wager on your head. Here is newly come to court Laertes, believe me, an absolute gentleman, full of most excellent differences.
What imports the nomination of this gentleman?
Of Laertes.
Of him, miss.
You're not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is at his weapon?
Oh, and what's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
Well, that's two of his weapons, but, well.
The king, sir, hath laid that in a dozen passes between yourself and him, he shall not exceed you 3 hits. He hath laid on 12 for 9, and it would come to immediate trial if your lordship would vouchsafe the answer.
How if I answer no?
I mean, my lord, the opposition of your person in trial.
Sir, I will walk here in the hall. If it please his majesty, let the foils be brought. The gentleman willing and the king hold his purpose. I will win for him if I can. If not, I will gain nothing but my shame and the odd hits.
Shall I redeliver you even so?
To this effect, miss, after what flourish your nature will.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
Yours.
Osric exits.
You will lose this wager, my lord.
I do not think so. Since he went into France, I have been in continual practice. I shall win at the odds. But thou wouldst not think how ill all's here about my heart. but it is no matter.
If your mind dislike anything, obey it. I will forestall their repair hither and say you're not fit.
Not a whit. We defy augury. There's a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not come. If it be not come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all.
Enter Claudius, Gertrude, Laertes, lords, Osric, and attendants with rapiers.
Come, Hamlet, come. Take this hand from me.
King Claudius puts Laertes' hand into Hamlet's.
Give me your pardon, sir. I've done you wrong. What I have done, that might your nature, honour, and expectation roughly awake, I here proclaim was madness. Was it Hamlet who wronged Laertes? Never Hamlet. If Hamlet from himself be ta'en away, and when he's not himself does wrong Laertes, then Hamlet does it not. Hamlet denies it. Who does it then? His madness is poor Hamlet's enemy. Sir, in this audience, let my disclaiming from a purposed evil free me so far in your most generous thoughts, that I have shot mine arrow o'er the house and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied in nature, whose motive in this case should stir me most to my revenge. But in terms of honour, I stand aloof. I do receive your offered love like love, and I will not wrong it.
I embrace it freely. And will this brother's wager frankly play? Give us the foils, come on.
One for me.
Oh, well, I'll be your foil, Laertes. In mine ignorance, your skill shall, like a star in the darkest night, stick fiery off indeed.
You mock me, sir.
No, by this hand.
Give them the foils, young Osric. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager?
Very well, my lord. Your grace has laid the odds on the weaker side.
I do not fear it. I have seen you both, but since he has betted, we have therefore odds.
This is too heavy. Let me see another.
Oh, this one likes me well.
They prepare to play.
Set me the stoops of wine upon that table. If Hamlet give the first or second hit, or quit in answer of the third exchange, the king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath. And in the cup a union shall he throw, richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have worn. Give me the cups. Come, begin. And you, the judges, bear a wary eye.
Come on, sir.
Come, my lord.
They duel.
1.
No.
Judgment.
A hit, a very palpable hit.
Well, again.
Stay. Give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health.
Claudius drinks, then places the poisoned pearl in the cup.
Give him the cup.
I'll play this bout first. Set it by a while. Come.
They duel.
Oh, another hit! What say you?
A touch, I do confess.
Our son shall win.
He's fat and scant of breath. Here, Hamlet, take my napkin, rub thy brows. The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Gertrude grabs the cup from her husband's hand and approaches Hamlet with her napkin.
Good madam.
Gertrude, do not drink.
I will, my lord. I pray you, pardon me.
It is the poisoned cup. It is too late.
I dare not drink yet, madam. By and by.
Let me wipe thy face.
Gertrude tenderly wipes Hamlet's face, and he allows her.
Come for the third, Laertes, you but dally. I pray you, pass with your best violence. I'm afeard you make a wanton of me.
Say you so. Come on.
They duel.
Nothing. Neither way.
At you now.
Laertes wounds Hamlet. Then, in scuffling, they change rapiers, and Hamlet wounds Laertes.
Yeah.
Part them. They are incensed.
Nay, come again.
Gertrude falls.
Look to the queen there. Ho!
They bleed on both sides. How is it, my lord?
I'm just killed with mine own treachery.
How does the queen?
She swoons to see them bleed.
No, the drink, oh my dear Hamlet. The drink, I am poisoned.
Gertrude dies.
Oh, villainy! Oh, let the doors be locked! Treachery, seek it out!
It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. In thee there is not half an hour left to live. The treacherous instrument in thy hand, unabated and envenomed. The foul practice has turned itself on me. Oh, here I lie, never to rise again. Thy mother's poisoned, and I can do no more. The king's to blame.
Point in venom too. Then venom to thy work.
Hamlet cuts Claudius with the poisoned rapier.
Here, thou incestuous murderous damned Dane, drink of this potion. Is thy union here? Follow my mother.
Claudius dies.
He is justly served. It is a poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death come not upon thee, nor thine on me.
Laertes dies.
Heaven make thee free of it. I follow thee. Oh, I am dead, Horatio. And wretched queen, adieu. Oh, Horatio, I am dead. Thou livest. Report me and my cause aright to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it. I am more an antique Roman than a Dane. Here's yet some liquor left.
As thou art a man, give me the cup. Let go! By heaven, I'll have it. Oh, good Horatio. What a wounded name. Things standing thus, and no shall live behind me. If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world, draw thy breath in pain to tell my story.
A marching army can be heard, and a crash as doors are broken down.
What warlike noise is this?
Young Fortinbras, with conquests come from Poland, to the ambassadors of England gives this warlike volley.
Osric runs out.
Oh, I die, Horatio. The potent poison quite overcrows my spirit. Oh, I cannot live to hear the news from England, but I do prophesy the election light on Fortinbras. Oh, here's my dying voice. So tell him, with the occurrence, more or less, which is solicited. The rest is silence.
Hamlet dies.
Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels sing thee to thy rest.
The castle is stormed by Fortinbras's forces, as Horatio waits with Hamlet dead in his arms. The end.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. I'm glad that I could be heard on the mic too. Thank you, everyone, for watching this one, and thank you, everyone, for being in it. Again, like I said, this is my favorite play, so this was really, really special. As well as thank you to everyone who's been watching all of these readings, and to all of you guys and all the other guys who have been in all of the other readings, because This started as just like a little fun idea to maybe do a reading of a Shakespeare, and then it turned out to be and then it kind of turned into this every other week, and we've done 6 now, and that's insane. That there's 6 full productions done, and every one of them has been amazing and so much fun, and it's been so amazing to see what all of you guys bring and all of the creative ideas you have. So I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's been involved with the project and watched it along its way.
And congratulations to Luke Martin.
Yeah.
Yes, Luke.
A clap, but I've got a cup. But yeah, and also, of course, a huge thank you to the stage directions, my father, who's been there with every single one.
Yay. Yeah, that's well deserved. Thanks, everyone. You are amazing.
Yeah, the rest is
And
silence.
with that, good night.
Bye.
Adieu.